Hi, my name is Nicole, and thank you so much for joining me for another yoga flow today. Today, we're actually doing a yin yoga flow. If you do not know, yin is a slower type of yoga practice that is done with poses held for a longer period of time. So this is going to be very beginner friendly if you've never done a yin flow before. With yin flows, postures are typically held from anywhere for a minute up to 5, 6, sometimes even 10 minutes, but we're not doing that today, don't worry. Since this is beginner friendly, we're going to be holding postures for about a minute each one. And as we go through this process, I want you to know tools, especially blocks and pillows, are encouraged in yin yoga. What we really want to do is, because the body is going to be staying in these postures a little longer than you might be typically used to, we want to give it tools and give it some support to be able to hang out in these poses just a little bit longer. So if you have some blocks, you're more than welcome to grab them. You won't necessarily need them per se, but you may find that they're useful in helping the body stay in these postures. And a pillow as well for the ending, or just if you'd like to use it. So grab those. This is going to be a wonderful flow that can be done at nighttime, so before you go to bed. Specifically, if you have been dealing with maybe a little bit of anxiety, a little uneasiness, the theming of today's flow is going to be really calming down the central nervous system, really focusing on the breath and releasing those tight feelings to be more open for when we fall asleep. So go to sleep tonight. So we're gonna go ahead and get started. Again, grab some blocks, grab your pillows, and maybe even dim the lights if you'd like. And we'll get straight into it. Seated in our easy pose. So all four corners of the sit bone are grounded into the mat. We're gonna sit up nice and tall, hands on the knees. And if you notice, your body has a natural tendency to kind of round or maybe collapse the chest into itself. Maybe think of lifting and lengthening all the way from the tailbone up to the crown. Shoulders, maybe the scapulas are engaged just ever so slightly. And breathe here. Now close your eyes as I guide you through this breath exercise we're going to take before we jump into some postures. So if you are someone who has a tendency to have anxious episodes, anxiety, a faster heart rate, whatever the case, I'm going to teach you a breathing technique that really helps calm down the central nervous system, really helps calm down the brain. So what this is called box breathing, okay? You don't need to watch me, you just need to listen to my voice. With box breathing, you are going to inhale nice big for 4 seconds. If you can't do 4 seconds, do whatever your body is able to do. So for 4 seconds, we take a nice deep inhale. Hold for 4. Exhale for 4. Hold for 4. Inhale for 4. Hold for 4. Exhale for 4. Hold for 4. Inhale for 4. Hold for 4. Good, we're gonna do that 2 more times as we exhale for 4. Inhale. Hold. Exhale. Hold. Inhale. Hold. Exhale. Hold. Inhale. Hold. Exhale. Hold. Inhale. Hold. Exhale. Hold. Last time. And then take a nice deep inhale to finish. As you open the eyes. Very well done. That's a practice you can refer back to, by the way, at any time. You don't need to be doing yoga to practice box breathing. I find it's one of my favorite forms of breath work. To get started, we are going to start with a seated twist. So we are going to take a nice deep inhale as we lift the hands up overhead, Once we exhale, we're going to bring the left hand to the right knee, and right hand is going to come behind the back as we look over this right shoulder. And as we breathe here, we're going to hold. Notice if any resistance comes up in the mental body, resistance to being still. And try to imagine it lifting and lengthening itself out of the body with each inhale and leaving with every exhale, releasing it. Good. Release the back hand, coming back to center. Inhale, hands up. And we are just going to exhale, and we're going to exhale and fold over this left knee with both hands. Now, if you'd like to place a block under the hands, that's totally fine. Otherwise, you can just use your hands and walk them out beyond the left knee, folding here, holding once more. You can let the back round here. Maybe as you hold the pose, you notice yourself being able to come deeper into it. Good. Inhale, lift up through the fingers. Walk them back in on the exhale to the body. Inhale, lift the hands up once more. We're going to do that sequence on the other side. Right hand on the exhale comes down to the left knee. Left hand comes behind, looking over the shoulder as we lift and lengthen and breathe here. This is a really wonderful way of doing yoga that gets into the plastic tissue, the plastic muscles, I should say. So the ligaments, the joints, the fascia, really helps open, stretch, and strengthen those deeper layers. That's why it's best to do this cool before a workout when your muscles are hot. We really want to make sure we're doing this when the muscles are cool to make sure we're getting beneath them to get into all that juicy stuff. Inhale again, coming up. And as we exhale, fold to the right, bringing the hands beyond the right knee, trying to keep our sit bone grounded into the mat. Breathe here. Lift up through the fingers, walk the hands back in on the exhale, coming back to center. We're going to face one of the long edges of our mats, bringing each foot out directly in front of us. We're going to take a slight bend in the knees. If you have a strap or blocks, you can use them for this pose at this time. And we're just going to inhale, lift hands up all the way overhead, exhale to fold, coming into our caterpillar pose here. So this is why I say you can bend the knees, where it's really passive in this fold, and you can use the blocks on either side of the foot to kind of give you a place to rest, to make this even more passive. and a little bit easier to be in. So once we have hold of our feet, really rounding through the back, holding here. Good. Inhale, lift up, walk the feet in. Leave the legs long with the toes flexing towards the head. Bring the hands behind you as you imagine someone pulling your chest up and towards the ceiling. Again, the neck is not crunching. We're just holding here. Almost like we're on a beach tanning. Again, inhale, walk the hands in, exhale, bringing the hands right onto the legs. We're only transitioning here. As on the next exhale, we're going to bring the soles of the feet to touch. You can place a block under your knees. This is a little bit much for you. And we are going to walk the hands towards the top of our mats, coming into a folded butterfly. And again, you can always bring a block under your hands, under the knees, whatever you'd like to do to make this just a little bit more passive for you. Good. Inhale, lift those fingers, walk them back in on the exhale. Bring the feet to the width of your mat. And I'll turn this way so it's a little easier to see. On the exhale, with hands on the knees, you're just going to guide the knees over to the right side, pressing with the hands, each knee down towards the right, thinking of lifting and lengthening here as you are orienting yourself in the direction of this right knee or right foot that is down. Ankle is in line with the knee here. Holding as you breathe. Good. Inhale to come up with both knees, dropping them on the exhale to the left this time as we hold. Once more to come up. If you are facing the long edge of the mat, we're just going to use our hands to walk ourselves to lay down. Coming into our happy baby, we're going to kick our feet off the ground on the exhale. Reach up and grab what we can grab, that being the ankles, maybe the pant leg, or our feet. Keeping the ankle in line with the knee, pulling the legs in, knees towards the armpits, holding here. If this is a little bit too much for the hips, you can always come into a reclined butterfly, once again bringing the blocks or pillows under the knees. Good. Bring the feet together, knees together. Wrap the hands around the knees. Use a strap. Grab the feet, whatever you can grab here once more. Gently lift the neck to squeeze everything together. Last pose here. And you can also keep the neck on the ground with a pillow under if you prefer. We're not crunching the neck. We're simply allowing the back to round here just a little bit. You can also rock back and forth if you want to take advantage of a nice little back compression here. Alright, inhale to release. We're going to come into our corpse pose, bringing each foot down towards the bottom of the mat. Palms are facing up towards the ceiling, open to receiving. You can always place a pillow under your head, under the tailbone. You can bring your feet out to the width of the mat, allow the knees to fall into each other if that is more comfortable. And we're going to stay here for just a little bit here. As we think on today's practice, maybe if this was our first time doing yin yoga, paying attention to what sensations came up for ourselves physically, mentally, spiritually, intellectually. Were we quick to try to give up in the beginning because we were uncomfortable with holding poses for so long? Was the stillness more challenging or welcoming than you thought it was going to be? And how do you feel now that you have completed this practice? Allow your breath to return to its natural rhythm as you gently flicker, the eyes closed, gently parting the mouth. Breathe, and I will let you know when it's time to wake. You don't have to open your eyes. I'm not going to ask you to sit up and roll over into a seated posture. Since we are getting ready for bed, we'll stay here and get up whenever you're ready. Instead, we will inhale, lift hands up overhead as we lay in between hands, holding everything we made for ourselves. As we exhale, lowering it all down to our heart center where it never leaves. Namaste. Good night, and I can't wait to flow again with you soon. Have a wonderful day. Bye.